Sort of like how the gaffer's assistant is just a guy with a bunch of rolls of tape on his belt, you know?
Oh yeah.
Nice. Well, guys, welcome, welcome. Hello. Just yeah, what either one. We're here again. This is the Only Child Review, and we're doing games again. This actually is rather fortuitous. We have two people you've met already, and they're back. And actually,
You're not in the camera.
I'm not. No, but I should be in that one, and I really don't matter as much on this one.
Oh.
So, thank you though. Thank you very much. Anyway, so we're having kind of a game of roundtable is the idea, and yeah. So let's just begin. And the one who is not here but is here, he might interject a little bit and yeah, he's an observer. He is an observer. Okay, video games. What do you guys think?
I think they're the devil's work.
Devils.
Yeah.
Very nice. But it does kind of bring up the question, at least in my mind, is what draws us as gamers? Why? Why are we gamers? Oh, as opposed to like huge film buffs or huge book, fans, or I don't know, some other form of media.
Well, we started young. Most of us did anyway.
Sure.
So there's a level of interaction you can't get watching films, playing games. The same way anyway. And that beginning, that basis that we found, eventually turned into muscle memory. So at this point, there's a whole lot of us playing the games just because we were used to playing games.
Okay. So it kind of harks back to the Twitch in us all.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Interesting idea. What's your draw? Do you think?
I don't know. I guess it's a way to essentially read a book without having to surrender all control to the author.
I like
Does that
that.
make sense?
Now, and as you guys know, these guys are RPGers, role-play gamers, which means a lot of their games are actually, it's literature, essentially. You guys are reading a lot in your games. Do you find yourself equally, more so, or perhaps less so connected to the literature you read in games, as opposed to, like, let's say periodicals? Because books are different. Books are different. But, like, say your monthly periodicals. Like, would you rather put your time in reading People on the rack over at the market, or would you rather just kind of be like, you know what, I'm going to get to level 5 on this character by way of story? Is it more compelling than other popular forms of media outside of books, because they're different?
It's kind of hard to compare the two because the entire time you're getting a story from a video game, you're also playing the game. So you're breaking up the action between, reading and, leveling or map, going through the map, quest solving, whatever and what have you, So reading a magazine, what you see is what you get.
Okay.
There's not going to change anything.
True.
Playing the game, it's a little hard to compare the two. You're getting a story there, but it won't be the same because you're not just getting a story. You're getting a whole lot more as well.
Sure.
It'd be like if you're reading a cooking magazine that had food in it. Every once in a while
that would be money.
Yeah,
awesome.
Oh, okay, I see that. And,
that'd be awesome.
It,
Turn to page 2. Awesome.
Flambe.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. So I know that this has become a big issue for development, from a development perspective, particularly with the latest release of Mass Effect on the 360. You have what was very much a linear story arc being actually kind of turned on its ear by the storage capacity of our media these days. I don't know what they use. It's more than a DVD. What is the Xbox 360?
It's DVDs, but it's like dual layers. So.
Oh, it's okay.
It might even be proprietary. I'm not exactly sure.
I don't even know. Okay, I just know that you can get so much dialogue on there that I know a lot of people who don't play these games are like, okay, so you're interacting. Yeah, you're taking part, but it's all pre-scripted.
Yeah.
But at this point, there is so much work and just lines of dialogue, spoken dialogue, that goes into these games that you guys do kind of, I don't know, you've played Mass Effect a fair amount.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you can shape it the way they say you can?
Yeah. Interesting. You definitely can choose which members of your team you have closer interactions with, and depending on who you pick, it also alienates members of your team.
I see, so there's social
there's
ramifications
definitely a social sub-game to it, and then you also can totally choose the story arc. I mean,
you can choose the what?
The story arc. It splits into 3 paths,
and
depending on which one you choose first, you get different things that you can use in the other ones. And so every time you play the game through, depending on which path through the story you take, you'll have different abilities at different points and different levels.
Interesting.
And so there's multiple paths, and you only have access to certain ones if you've taken a prior path, essentially.
Huh.
Not to mention the different classes and all the other abilities your character gets, depending on which class you choose. But I suspect I'll play at least 3 times just to see all the stuff that's in there.
That's something that is interesting and harks back to a lot of the smaller games that, you know, Chrono Trigger, of course, for the old Super Nintendo being probably the chiefest among old school games that could really facilitate multiple players. We're talking 13 different endings. Yeah. Which is crazy talk on a 16-bit machine. That's insane. But nowadays, you know, when you say 3 times, three solid complete playthroughs, what kind of time are we talking about, do you think?
I'd say I'm about 20, 25 hours into it, and there's still, well, I don't know how big the story gets because it slowly unfolds. But on my first time through, I've been playing for about 20 hours, trying to do everything I can the first time through. And I've still got 2 main, like not little sub-game worlds, but like main plot worlds to go to out of 4.
Out of 4. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so it's safe to say it's at least a 50-hour game. Would you say that's the average for the modern RPG?
No, I wouldn't.
Is that...
It's actually stepping a step back.
That's back?
Yeah. I mean, games used to be... Well, it's... In the 16-bit era, games felt longer. Okay. I guess because we just weren't used to it. We weren't getting RPGs every couple of months like we are now.
True.
Back then, you know, you have Breath of Fire 2, and then you have a long wait, and then you see something else. Yeah. And it just seemed longer. I don't know why. Because, I mean, if you really go back and play these games, you're getting maybe 20 hours, I know. You know?
Yeah.
In the PlayStation, late PlayStation, you know, mid PlayStation 2 era, games got really big. Like, really big. You're talking about 2 DVD size RPGs. The RPGs aren't very big games to begin with. You know, it's mostly just text, algorithms and such. So you got really big games, but now nobody wants to spend as much time playing games as you want them to. It's
from a developer's perspective.
It's just like they're spending times on different areas of the game. Presentation is taking a step up.
Yeah.
Because there's a little bit of a backlash with the cinematic nature that RPG games started to go through. Okay. Like your Final Fantasy X or your Xeno Sagas of the world.
Now, when you say, I don't mean to interrupt, but when you say cinematic, I naturally think RPG because it's a very epic genre.